right, we're on to round 8. We're going to go back to the white yarn here, and we're going to do our first front post stitches grabbing onto the white here so that we can connect it up. So to join in, we're going to do 2 stitches before one of these big poofs. So here's my puff stitch here, so we're going to go 2 in front of it and connect right here. So connect, do our chain, that counts as our first single crochet. For this round we're going to do 6 single crochets followed by a front post stitch. So 1, remember that chain counts as the first one, 2, 3, and here's the easiest way to lose a stitch and get off. Depending on how tight you did it, these chain stitches from the previous round can be really sneaky to see. So I want to grab this one. This one was obviously pretty tight. So make sure you don't miss those chain stitches. They count. You need to do a single crochet in them. So this is my 4th, 5, one more 6, and now we're ready to do our front post stitch. So we're going to do a, oh good, I just kicked the camera. I'm so sorry. Let me stop that. I'm sorry if I made anyone a little nauseous right there. We're good to go. So we did our 6 single crochet. We're going to do a front post treble into this guy, or around this double crochet down below. So the treble means we're going to yarn over twice. We're going to go around this double crochet, draw up our loop, and now finish the treble. So that's a front post treble crochet. Like the previous round, we do need an increase, but instead of doing an increase, all we're going to do is not skip this stitch. Normally you might skip this stitch because we did it here in front instead of going in there, but we're not going to skip it. We're just going to do another single crochet in there to start our next repeat, and that's how we're going to have our increases on this round. So again, we'll do the repeat one more time. You're going to do it 8 times all the way around. So it is 6 single crochet and then the front post stitch, and we're not skipping any stitches this round. So here's my first, 2, 3, and again, this little chain stitch right here from the poof stitch is a little hard to see, so make sure you don't skip that. That's 4, 5, 6, and now we're going to do the front post into this stitch. So yarn over twice, go underneath here so that we can bring the yarn around it, and then finish out your treble crochet. And that's the repeat. We're not going to skip. We're going to go right into there and start our next repeat. So do that all the way around and then join the ends there. So here I am just finishing up the very last repeat. I've done my 6 single crochet, and you notice I have no stitches left. That doesn't mean that anything's done wrong. It means that we're ready to do the front post treble here, because afterwards we don't skip any stitches. So we want to have everything filled up before we do it. So that's right. So we're going to do our last front post stitch here. And a note about the front post stitches, you want to make sure when you do them that you leave them loose enough so that it doesn't pull these stitches down. Otherwise you're going to get like these bumps where it's tight, tight, tight. So the reason I made it a treble was hopefully to have enough space so that it wouldn't do that. It wouldn't be a problem, but you do want to be careful with it. So that's the last stitch in our repeat. Remember, we don't skip anything, and I have nothing to skip there. So you can just cut your yarn, join the 2 ends, and you should be finished with that round. All right, we're ready for round 9. Round 9, we're going to use this lavender light purple color right here, and actually we're going to use this for 9 and 10. The next 2 rows use the same color yarn, but even though it's the same color, we're going to treat it like 2 separate rounds and just attach it, complete the round, finish off, attach it again, do that round. So for this one, we're going to join our yarn in any one of these front post stitches. So as with every round, we're going to join it with a single chain. I'm going to hold my tail here so I can grasp it inside the stitches. And for this round, it's pretty basic. We're going to do an increase followed by 6 single crochets. So this chain is the first stitch in my increase. I'll do another one in that same loop. So that's my increase. Now 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you notice for my next repeat, I'm at the front post stitch again, so we know that we filled in the repeat just like we needed to. So you're going to do that 8 times. That's going to take you all the way around. Again, it's an increase first, and that should be in the front post stitch. And after that, 6 single crochets. Once you're done with that, go all the way around, join using the needle join, and I'll take you through the next round in just a second. All right, I'm just finishing joining my ends together. And we're ready for the next round. Now, as I said, this is round 10. It's going to use the exact same yarn, but we do still have to finish this one off, do the join, start a new one. Now, this one's going to be pretty much the same. It's just sort of blank stitches all the way around, nothing too fancy, so it's just regular stitches with an increase in there. But I am going to mix it up to move the increases around, because you notice I'm starting to look a little like an octagon. I want this to be a nice circle, so we're going to spread those increases out to keep things as round as possible. So this time, we're going to join our yarn in the first stitch of any of these increases. So with my tail down here, I'm going to pick something. Yeah, maybe I'll come over here. And I got my increase, so I want the first stitch in the increase. I'll join with a chain. That's going to be my first single crochet. And here I want 4 single crochets, an increase, and then 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll throw our increase in here just to keep it spread out from the ones from the previous round. After the increase, we need 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And if you look, my next stitch should be in the first stitch of the increase from the previous row. Again, that's how you can check to make sure that you're doing everything right. So again, it's going to be 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4, followed by an increase, which is just 2 in the same stitch, and then 3 more. That's my third. And if I did this right, I should have my next stitch is the first in the increase. So like before, do this all the way around. You're going to do it 8 times total. We've just done 2, so you got 6 more to go. At the end, join the 2 ends together, and now we get to switch colors and go on to our next round. All right, we're on to round 11 now. We're going to go back to this sort of dark purple magenta color that we did the puff stitches in. With this one, it's going to be another basic, pretty simple round where we're going to do a bunch of single crochets and an increase all the way around. To spread out our increases, we're again going to kind of mush stuff around. So we're going to look for one of the increases in the last round. Here's one of them right here. I want to join in on the first stitch of the increase. So here's my increase, Here's my first stitch. And for this one, we're going to do 2 single crochet, the increase, and then 6 more. So this first one counts as 1. So 2 single crochet, so 1 and 2, and my tail is getting in here, sorry about that. Now I'm going to do an increase. And then 6 more single crochet. Like all of them, we're going to do everything in the back loops. There's 3. 4, 5, and 6. And I should be, if you look here, here's another increase, and I'm all set up to go into the first stitch of that increase. So this is the repeat. You're going to do it 8 times around. It is 2 single crochet, an increase, and then 6 more single crochet. So we'll do it together one more time. 2 single crochet, an increase, so that's 2 in the same, back loop only for everything, and now 6 more. Four, 5, and 6. Let's see if I'm at my increase. Hopefully I am. You look, there's my next increase, and yep, I'm all set to go into the first stitch. So that's the repeat here. You've done it twice, or we've done it twice together. You got to go around the rest of it, so it's 8 times total. 2 single crochet, an increase, and then 6 more single crochet. Hi, we're on to round 12. We're going back to the front post stitches after all of these pretty simple rounds here, which means we're going back to white so that we can connect them up to the white ones that we have here. For this round, again, you're going to look for an increase, and you're going to join in the first stitch of that increase. You should know sometimes it's the first stitch, sometimes it's the second stitch, so just be careful with that. But here again, first stitch of any increase, doesn't matter which one. Just find one. We're going to go ahead and join. We're going to do 2 single crochet. That first one counts as 1 where we joined with the chain stitch. Here's my second one. And now we're going to do a front post treble crochet into this guy right here. So the one that's coming in front of it, that's going to help these start to curve a little bit, which is the look that we want. So treble crochet means we're going to go around twice. Front post means that we're going underneath this front guy here and grabbing it around there instead of going into a loop of a stitch. We'll go ahead, finish it out, and remember, try to leave it loose enough so it doesn't pull it in too tight. Sometimes that means you gotta just give it a little extra slag. After that, we're going to skip nothing. That's gonna be our increase for this round. So skip nothing, and we're gonna do 8 more single crochets. So we're not gonna, sometimes with the tail here it's a little hard to see, we're not gonna skip this guy. We're gonna come right back into it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now if I did everything right, which is never a guarantee, we should be at an increase here, which we are, and we're going into the first stitch of that increase. Now if you look here, I was a little tight with it, so it does kind of poke in a little bit. A little bit's okay, you can make do with that, but you don't want to be so tight that it really pulls that in. So let's see, hopefully this next time I can do it a little bit looser. We'll go again for the repeat, which again, 8 times all the way around. We're going to do 2 single crochet, we're going to do our front post treble crochet around this white one here. Same color yarn. connecting them up so they look like they're seamless when we're done. Trying to be a little bit looser with this. Get a little bit more room there, that's good. Come in here, we want to make sure we don't skip that stitch. That's our hidden increase, so we're not going to skip anything. And do 8 more single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if you could see that little tail end. That's where I had cut one of the tails from another round. It just was sticking there. I just sort of pushed it back behind the work. And where was I? I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 6, 7, 8. Now it's definitely good to check because I lost track in the middle. We're set for an increase, so that's right, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single crochets after my front post. So that's the repeat, and you notice these are now starting to arc or curve. That's the look we want, so it's going to be sort of a spiral around here. So again, for this round 12, we're going to have 2 single crochets, a front post treble, and 8 more. That's it. Finish it all the way around. See you for the next round.